Uh, Hi everyone, this is PD from GAME, and I have here with me Dr. S. Baskar Reddy, who is Executive Director at Syngenta Foundation. The idea for this series is to understand what different partners like Syngenta Foundation are working on today, given the current COVID crisis, and also understand where are they, where can they provide the most support to other partners in the ecosystem, as well as what help can the ecosystem provide Syngenta Foundation. So I think Baskar, welcome.
Thank you, PD.
So I think to start with, it would be good if you can just give a 2-minute brief about Syngenta Foundation India itself and all the different work that you do across the country.
Yeah, thanks, PD. Syngenta Foundation works primarily on helping farmers with various initiatives, right from seed agronomy and all the way up to linking farmers to markets. The primary objective of the foundation is to increase the income of smallholder farmers. And to achieve this, we have one major strategy in India, what we call as agri-entrepreneurship program, where we train rural youth who are unemployed and educated to become agri-entrepreneurs and set up an enterprise in their village and help 150 to 200 farmers with various market linkages, various kinds of services that the farmers would require, whether it's inputs or credit facilitation or market linkages and so on. In the last 5 years, we were able to set up about 2,500 entrepreneurs across 6,000 villages and 59 districts and 9 states in India. So the program has been expanding very quickly. And recently, we partnered with Tata Trust to create a new foundation called Agri-Entrepreneur Growth Foundation, with an objective to take this initiative to scale and anchor at least 100,000 entrepreneurs in the next 5 years. So it's a pretty much scale initiative, and we are working on this, the agri-entrepreneur model.
Fantastic. So I think, can you just give us a sense of like in terms of geographical reach, how diverse the scale is, or in how many states, districts are you present in so far across the country?
Yeah, like I said, we are present in about 9 states and about 59 districts and 6,000 villages. The major work is happening in Maharashtra and Bihar, and followed by Jharkhand, Odisha, and Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. And we have just started work in Rajasthan and Assam as well. So it's a pretty diverse area that we work in.
Right. I think that was. I think that's really good to bring out at this stage. So, given this sort of diverse presence that Syngenta Foundation India has, right, and given the current crisis, what do you see as the biggest challenges, Baskar, for the farmers, for the agri-entrepreneurs? So, what's coming out to be the biggest challenge that they are facing on ground today?
Yeah. So, just before that, what we did in the foundation is, as soon as the COVID crisis came up, we thought it will be great to leverage the presence of 2,500 entrepreneurs across these states to work on 2 aspects. One is to work on the COVID awareness itself. So we are requesting our entrepreneurs to call at least 10 to 20 farmers every day and create awareness about COVID. Although we do talk about the general hygiene and other practices, but the focus has also been on telling them about the emergency numbers for the district health authority numbers and the mobile number of ASHA workers, so they can reach out to these health authorities in case of emergency, and also creating awareness about 104, the emergency helpline. And so that has been the work around the COVID, creating awareness by these entrepreneurs among the villages. So far, we have reached up to 90,000 farmers. We have actually, the AEs were able to talk to 90,000 farmers. And wow, we expect this number will reach up to at least 4 lakh farmers by next 15 to 20 days. The second work that we're doing through the entrepreneurs, that's where I will refer to the challenge that we're facing is, as you are aware, this is the right peak marketing season where the farmers are harvesting produce. Depending on geography, We have grape harvesting happening in Nashik area. We have chana, masoor, and wheat harvesting happening in Madhya Pradesh, and mustard harvesting and wheat harvesting happening in Rajasthan. So several locations. Maize is a major harvesting major harvesting time for maize in Bihar. So here again, we are trying to create awareness among them about how the agriculture produce is treated as essential commodity by the government, and they have issued government notifications saying that the produce movement to the markets is permitted. So we have given the notification to the entrepreneurs, and we are telling the entrepreneurs to pass on this notification to the farmers and actually give a physical copy of the notification to the farmers, so that when they travel to the markets, if anybody stops them, they can show that, look, the government has allowed us to take the produce to the market. So creating awareness around how they can take the produce to the markets is the one aspect. And the second aspect is also about creating market linkages. There are these fall under three different distinct categories. One, for instance, trying to directly sell vegetables in Mumbai. Some of the entrepreneurs in Palghar are taking the produce to the housing societies in Mumbai and directly selling the vegetables. So that's a direct farmer to the consumer linkage is happening. Two, we are helping farmers by linking them to the traders and companies which are interested in sourcing wheat and chana. And so we do that direct linkage to the companies and traders. Three, we're also leveraging the electronic trading, electronic marketplaces like Star Agri-Bazaar and NEML. So the entrepreneurs are able to aggregate 20 tons of wheat or mustard and then place an order on the electronic marketplaces. And as soon as the price is good and the farmers are ready to sell, the entrepreneur then facilitates the transportation of that produce to the warehouse designated by the electronic marketplace. So electronic market linkages are also happening. So these are the three ways in which we are helping farmers link to the markets.
So I think to just follow on with that, with what you said, how do we amplify this, Baskar? I mean, how do we sort of make sure that the same work can be replicated in other pockets? There are more farmers and different producers who are brought into this fray. How do we ensure that? And what would your sort of suggestion or advice be there?
Yeah, I think times like this, I think one common denominator would be the power of aggregation. I think whether it is agri-entrepreneur aggregating the produce of the farmers, or whether it is a farmer producer organization aggregating, or other private platforms like ITC, Chopper and other platforms which can aggregate the farmers' produce. And because of the lockdowns and because of the markets not fully open, markets fully not functional, I think the aggregation mechanisms have to be strengthened. And once these aggregation mechanisms are strengthened, then they can play a pivotal role in either trading on the electronic marketplace, like I said earlier, or doing a warehouse receipts loan to the farmers and helping them with the warehouse receipt link. Yeah,
got it. And so just like the last question, given Syngenta Foundation and the partnership that we have with Game, and some of the other folks also in the ecosystem, what support do you see, or what role do you see Syngenta Foundation playing in a collaboration that we can set up, and what support would Syngenta Foundation need from this collaboration?
So yes, I mean, as far as how we can partner with various organizations, we'll be happy to share these learnings. And for instance, the electronic marketplace linkages that we have with Star Agri-Bazaar and NEML, we'll be happy to provide those linkages to the other partner organizations, whoever is interested in marketing produce, and share those case studies. And others also can undertake similar kind of electronic market linkages. And two, in terms of how and also I think post-COVID, I think there will be definitely supply chain disruptions, and Kharif season, which is starting in end of May, early June, is on the heels. So I think in the areas that we are operating, if any partner organization wants the entrepreneurs to provide inputs to the farmers, the entrepreneurs could again act as an aggregation platform for procuring inputs and supplying to the farmers in the region. So the entrepreneurs are anyway supplying that to the 150, 200 farmers within the captive that they have, captive farmers. And we could also help the partner organizations with the input linkages. It's both ways. It cuts both ways. We can take help of partner organizations, and the partner organizations can take help of the entrepreneurs that we have on the ground. And two things I think which can, at a game level, that we could look at is how we can aggregate the demand of various organizations working in a region, and look for either taking a larger warehouse on a rental, and so that the farmers and FPOs and the entrepreneurs can then store the produce in those warehouses and facilitate electronic linkages. Because if a single farmer wants to store 10 bags, it's impossible for a farmer to store 10 bags in a warehouse. That's where I think, again, the power of aggregation is important. I think that's one thing. And even the government should look at, can they provide some warehouses to farmer producer organizations without rental, without asking them to pay for rental or subsidizing the rental costs and so on.
Right.
And of course, access to finance is always a challenge for the entrepreneurs, and especially in these times. So how we can provide soft loans to entrepreneurs so that they can do effective market linkages in this season, and also they can use that operating the finance for OPEX expenses, and for the next season, the Kharif season, for supplying inputs to farmers. So I think some kind of a support, soft loans especially, will be very helpful to the entrepreneurs and FPOs also.
Okay. I think that's very well put, Baskar, because I think what this allows us to do is now, as we have been having a lot of conversations, right? So figure out what the balance looks like, right? And how do we actually make sure, as you said, the power of collaboration is really brought to the fore. I think this is, any closing words?
Yeah, I think there will be a number of ways in which we can collaborate. For instance, I can tell you a small example. We have a buyer in Patiala who wants 2 tons of grapes from Nashik. So we are trying to ship that from help farmers in Nashik to transport that to Patiala. And 2 tons is a very small quantity that if there are any partner organizations who are willing to look for sending grapes towards north, Delhi or Patiala, then there's an easy way of collaborating and hiring a 10-ton truck or a 20-ton truck to send those. Transportation also is going to play a major role, because transport linkages are also fairly broken, and I think organizations can partner in that kind of linkage as well.
Fantastic. Okay. So with this, I think we come to the end of the webinar. Thank you so much, Baskar, as always, because I think we get to learn something new every time we have a conversation, and really looking forward to making sure that we are able to make this collaborative work. So thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks, PD. It's always a pleasure partnering with GAME, and the convening power of GAME is very strong, and we really appreciate that, bringing various partners and organizations together. So thanks to you on GAME, and thank you.
So much.